Hi, I'm Ray Andrewsen. I'm Executive Director of the Quinnipiac Chamber of Commerce, and we're here at Hubcap today on Center Street here in Wallingford. We're partnering with Hubcap for a major manufacturing event, as we have a dozen manufacturers who are here in our facility today, and we have dozens and dozens of area students who have come to learn more about careers in manufacturing, post-high school and beyond. So we'll be talking with some of those students. We'll be talking with some of our manufacturers, and we'll also be discussing manufacturing here in the state of Connecticut with the Chief State Manufacturing Officer. That's Paul Lavoie, who grew up right here in downtown Wallingford. I'm Ray Andrewsen, Executive Director of the Quinnipiac Chamber of Commerce, and welcome. And let's talk to some of our students here in Wallingford who have come to Hubcap to learn a little bit more about our manufacturers. We're joined by Daniel, who's here with us. Daniel, what school are you from?
I'm from Sheehan.
Sheehan, welcome. It's good to have you here today. So you had an opportunity on the floor to get to know and hear a little bit about the different types of manufacturers we have here in Wallingford. What have you learned?
I learned that they were definitely open for multiple things. I was interested into being an electrician, so they definitely had jobs, not just for like manufacturing and stuff. But it's also there to help. Electricians are going to be there for helping, plumbers, they're going to need everyone, not just there.
When you go by these buildings and drive by them and see these buildings that have been in Wallingford for many years, they're big.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I guess to your point, you know that it's not just the actual line workers or somebody in one department making one product. It's support. It's electricians. It's plumbers. It's the plant itself.
Yeah. I don't know. They're definitely big companies. They're going to be needing everyone, like you said.
Yeah, and they'll need electricians. And so what got you interested in being an electrician? You must get a charge out of that.
Yeah. My sophomore year, I ended up taking a job shadow. They offered a job shadow for my school at the electrical union in Wallingford. It was great, in my opinion. Definitely eye-opening. It taught me things that I didn't know that I would be interested in.
Yeah. Well, it's great to have you here, Daniel, and glad that you're doing great work and manufacturing a little bit about that. So your takeaway today is that you see a future in manufacturing.
Yeah.
Great. Daniel, thanks for being with us.
No, thank you.
And our day here at Hubcap continues, our day of manufacturing. And I'm Ray Andrewsen with the Quinnipiac Chamber of Commerce. And businesses and manufacturers were all linked together, and so are the schools, and so are the students. Mike's joining us here right now. He's going to tell us a little bit about what he's learned in this manufacturing day here today. Mike, what school are you from here?
I'm from Sheehan.
Sheehan, good to have you here. Glad you're with us. So, Mike, manufacturing, there's so many areas of manufacturing, so many types of manufacturing. Are you surprised at the diversity of the businesses you've seen?
Yeah, I feel like it's a very big surprise to me. My parents want me to go into doing an engineering type of degree, and I'm kind of learning about how many different ways it can be applied in different types of jobs and applications.
Yeah. So right now, in terms of manufacturing and things you like to do, you're attracted to the engineering aspect. What kind of got you interested in this?
I've always kind of been like hands-on. You know, I like working with my hands, doing stuff like that, and I wanted to find like a way to
Or bring all those skills out to the front, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, something you really want to do. So you've been visiting some of the companies that have been here today.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that stands out? There was something like, wow, that's really interesting. They bring their products here today for you to see.
Yeah, there were a couple.
Yeah. So it must be something that sort of hit you and said, it's kind of neat.
Yeah. I thought the one where they I forgot the name of it, but they were making different wires and stuff like that for like NASA and airplanes and helicopters and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it really is. Well, Mike, thanks for dropping by. Good luck to you in your career and everything at Sheehan.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Real variety of all the manufacturers that are here today at Hubcap in this special day, celebrating our manufacturing and bringing in our students here from Sheehan High School and other places. AJ's joining us right now. AJ, welcome. And I see because of your attire, you like construction, Empire Construction, Cherry Hill Construction. You like construction sites?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. What is it about construction sites that you find attractive?
The big machines, working on them, using them, getting to use them, getting inside the bucket. It's just really fun. I find it really interesting and cool to do.
Yeah. Cranes, bulldozers, even if you go into a warehouse, forklifts. I mean, it's kind of fun. It's these big machines.
There's there's always something new you could learn, and you could always just get better at it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you're learning too as you're here. There are parts assembled for these big machines,
Yep.
and they're very niche. They're very small parts that go in. So it must be interesting for you to go around and say, I didn't know those little tiny pieces or those parts are part of a big machine.
Also, what I found interesting, I didn't know most of the companies were right in Wallingford, so that was also pretty cool to learn.
The town of Wallingford actually has more manufacturing exports than any other town in the state of Connecticut. It's remarkable.
I never knew that.
Yeah, well, that's why we're bringing you here, and,
Yep.
and glad to have you around. So you're with your buddies and some of your friends who are here learning a little bit about manufacturing as well. Would you like to tour a plant, see more?
Yeah, I think our school is actually doing that for Oldbrook Steel, I think, or
Yeah.
I forgot the other name of it, but
Oldbrook Steel's 100 years old, been
Yep.
in this community for a long time. Do you envision that from today you're inspired not just to work in manufacturing, but perhaps do something on your own?
yeah, I forgot the company name, but I was talking to them, and they have like a heavy equipment operator stuff there, so I was kind of interested in doing that, maybe.
Yeah. So hands-on experience.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you so much, AJ, for
Yep.
being with us today.
Thank you.
All the manufacturers that are here today at this wonderful day at Hubcap, as we showcase a dozen manufacturers with dozens and dozens of students who are here, including David, who's joined us, who's with she in high school. And David, you are kind of, I wouldn't say mesmerized, but you're very interested. You're walking around and meeting all these manufacturers. It must be overwhelming, all the variety of products that these manufacturers in Wallingford in the area are producing.
Yeah, like you said, yeah. They have all different types of samples over there, and it's nice meeting, professionals, especially for manufacturing. So, yeah.
Yeah, and these professionals, they do this day in and day out.
Yeah.
So this is a career. So you're interested. This is sort of a career development day for you too. So what has changed for you a little bit seeing all this? This must be kind of exciting.
Yeah, so this is kind of what I want to do in the future, what I'm planning to do in the future, engineering. So it's nice to learn something new every single day. So, yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of engineering, what got you interested in it in the first place?
I would say either electrical or mechanical engineer.
Yeah. Some folks even say gaming, just watching things, playing with equipment or understanding equipment as well. We have studio equipment. This is all manufactured.
Yeah.
The microphones, the microphone arm, everything in our place here today had to come from somewhere. So when you look at this studio, are you now going to be transformed to look at things differently when you go into a restaurant, when you go into an auto showroom, when you come into a broadcasting studio, knowing that all of these products were made somewhere?
No, definitely. Because when I was little, obviously, I just thought like, they were made somewhere else. But now that I realize these are like designed, these are like, it's cool to see, to have like a perspective that way. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's all engineering and making things, technology as well. David, good luck to you. And thank you for being with us here today at Hubcap.
Thank you.
Not only students here today at Hubcap, but we also have the manufacturers, dozen manufacturers who are from the Wallingford area, who are looking at these students and providing them information on what a strong career in the field of manufacturing would look like for them. Joining us, HR Director for PPG Aerospace, Kim DePiro, is with us. Kim, must be an exciting day for you from an HR perspective to see so many young teens, high school students here today who are very interested in manufacturing.
It's been very exciting, actually. As an employer, wanting to make sure we're developing our next generation of talent and making sure that we have enough people interested in manufacturing. So explaining to our students and then members of the community that have come in who we are, what we do, and what we're looking for, as well as just giving them a general overview of the types of manufacturing that we have here, not only in Connecticut, but local to Wallingford. So if you're not open to a commute in the snow, we are here in town.
And Wallingford is right here in the hub. It is the hub of Hubcap, if you will. We have more exported goods out of Wallingford, out of 169 towns in Connecticut, which is a remarkable statistic. Low electric rates, as you know, because we have the electric plant, which is so suitable for any manufacturer to have that cost cut considerably, and you're near transportation networks. So Wallingford's attractive, but it's also attractive in the sense that we have so many students who grow up in this environment who understand manufacturing.
It certainly is, and it's been rewarding to talk to high school students that are getting that exposure actually in school. These are young people that are making some decisions what they're going to be doing with their next chapter of life. In 7 months, 8 months, when they are looking for opportunities, they're choosing a path. Am I choosing the path to go to school? Am I choosing the path to go to training? Am I choosing a path to try a job? And being able to explain as a manufacturer, all three options are very valid and very great. But if you come to my path of trying a job, we can support you with those other two paths as well. Coming on board with PPG, starting out in manufacturing, starting in material handling, starting in our inventory group. We also offer great support if you want training, if you want cross-development, if you want tuition payment, not reimbursement, tuition payment programs. A lot of manufacturers offer that support too.
And there's a lot of complexity. I think what the students have been telling us all day today is they never knew how many different types of jobs there are under the roof of a manufacturer.
Exactly. They're getting exposure. Most of the kids are probably watching TV. They hear about Pratt & Whitney. You hear about Sikorsky, a lot of these major players, big manufacturing. But there's smaller scale manufacturing, larger companies that are running under the visibility radar. We don't have big billboards. We're not on television. When I tell people I work for PPG, the first question people ask is, oh, it's the paint company, right? Nope. Wallingford PPG does aerospace. We create expanded metal products that go on the outsides of airplanes to protect them from lightning strikes. So there's a lot of different products and things to explore based here in town.
Next time I get on an airplane, I'm going to think of PPG Aerospace.
You're flying with us.
I think we are. Kim DePiro, HR Director, PPG Aerospace here in Wallingford. Thanks for being with us here today at Hubcap and also educating so many of our students here in the Wallingford area.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to join.
We're delighted right now to bring in the HR coordinator for Nucor. Nucor is the only steel plant here in the state of Connecticut, and it's located in Wallingford and Tully's Road. Jessica Burdacki is with us. Jessica, it's amazing when I think of all these students who are so passionate and interested in manufacturing at this point. Teenagers.
Absolutely. So as I've been telling them all day, manufacturing is everywhere, from the clothing that you're wearing to the chairs that we're sitting on. So manufacturing is a variety and a broad spectrum for sure.
So the Nucor steel plant is impressive because Nucor is an international company.
Absolutely.
And here it is in Wallingford.
Yes, there's a little chunk of us right on Tully's Road, about 140 of us there. Nationwide, we're about 35,000 Army. So it's awesome. We are in Canada, Trinidad, Mexico for international, and we are also located in 40 states.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting when you tour the plant, too, and you see how these steel products are made and brought elsewhere. Again, with so many of these plants, we don't sometimes realize that everything we have here in our studio, everything we have in this building has been made somewhere, right?
Absolutely. And just a little bit of us in Nucor and Wallingford, so we produce rebar and wire mesh there for concrete reinforcement. All over the U.S., we have all types of products groups. So you go to Walmart, you look up at the beams up there, most likely it came from a Nucor facility.
So a student who's coming to Nucor and looking for work, one of the impressive things that you see as you drive in and you park and you go into the HR department and talk to you, Jessica, is this huge mural with all the smiling faces of people who work there. We are family at Nucor. Explain the concept of family.
So concept of family is everything at Nucor. That's our culture. That's how we are motivated. That's what gets us going every single day.
Yeah, it's amazing. So if you're talking to the students today and encouraging them to pursue careers in manufacturing, what are you telling them?
So there's all kinds of stuff. So entry level, that you just need to come in 18 years old with a will and a way. And then all the way through engineering. So a lot of the engineering students today, I let them know what their path would look like for a mechanical engineer. So kind of, again, another broad spectrum. You could come in as entry level, work your way on up, and eventually end up in that engineering position if you really wanted to.
And the training.
Absolutely. So training is everything there. You could come in with, again, just being 18 years old, and we will train you to do anything and everything you'd like to do within Nucor.
Sort of jobs of the future.
Absolutely.
Great. Jessica Burdacki, HR Coordinator, Nucor. Thank you for being with us here today at Hubcap.
Thank you so much.
Manufacturing is so associated with the town of Wallingford, and a Wallingford native is actually Connecticut's chief manufacturing officer, who knows not only Wallingford and what industry and manufacturing has meant to this community, but also understands the entire 169 communities around the state of Connecticut. Paul Lavoie. Paul, it's great to have you here at Hubcap today.
Ray, so excited to be here. Really great to come back home again.
It's great to be back home, steps away from where you grew up, when you see all the students at our high schools who are here today that are learning a little bit more than just driving by the manufacturing facilities. They're finding out what's going on inside.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, when we talk to kids about manufacturing and the manufacturing opportunities, they're always so surprised at what's made here in Connecticut, and certainly what's made here in Wallingford and the great companies that we have here. Because when you drive by them, you don't necessarily know what's going on inside them. And so when we bring the companies here to meet with the students, we get to teach them about some of the exciting products that are made in Connecticut, exciting products that are made here in Wallingford, and really how important Wallingford is and how important Connecticut is in the manufacturing ecosystem in the country.
It's remarkable when you were pausing and just rattling off all these products that were made here, whether it's wiffle balls or frisbees or anything that's in a door frame, Connecticut, all around the state of Connecticut. And you've had a chance as the chief manufacturing officer to visit literally hundreds of these manufacturing operations.
Yeah, I do. I travel around the state. I visit with manufacturers. When I go and visit with them, it's called the L4 tour. So I lean in, listen, learn, and then I link them to the resources that we have here in the state. There's no state in the nation that supports manufacturing better than the state of Connecticut. And I learn something new every day and every week about exciting things that are made in Connecticut. And these are things that are in our everyday lives that we just don't realize are there. We talked about things like, Stanley Access Technologies, which are the sliding doors when you walk into a CVS or a Walmart or a Home Depot, all made in Connecticut, and so, and quite frankly, up until this week, I had no idea, and so I learn every day and every week all of the new stuff, not new stuff, but all the stuff that we make in Connecticut that's new to everybody that they don't realize we make.
We don't only have just the manufacturers who are here today with us and the students talking to manufacturers, but also Workforce Alliance and other workforce entities around the state of Connecticut. Training, student training, new employee training is such a remarkably important component of success in manufacturing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have a terrific workforce development ecosystem here in Connecticut. I will tell you that in my experience within Connecticut and then looking outside of Connecticut, we have the most sophisticated workforce development system in the country. And essentially what that means, it means that partners like the Workforce Alliance and others across the state that are really focused on how do we provide people with life-changing opportunities to have the career and have the pathway that they desire, and understanding that everybody's pathway is different. What defines success for Ray may be different for Paul and may be different for somebody else, and how do we make sure that they have that pathway to success? And manufacturing really is a pathway for people to generationally change the economic trajectory of their family, because these are jobs that when you're on the job for a few years and you're getting promotions and working some overtime, you're making $75,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year. So these are really good paying jobs that provide students, and these are people coming right out of high school that have these opportunities. To be 24, 25 years old and making those kinds of wages really has a dramatic impact on the quality of your life.
And in terms of training and education, inside the buildings, we've learned there's a wide range, very wide range of opportunities and types of jobs. There are support jobs, electricians, plumbers, people who are in the staff of the HR departments. It's everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. HR departments, accounting, sales, engineering. These are full service, if you will, businesses and that. And so from shop floor product, the great thing about manufacturing is you can have a person with a PhD working alongside a shop floor technician who has a high school education, and you're watching the person with a high school education school the PhD about, when they come out with a new design for a part and they bring it to a machine and the person looks at them and says, "Hey, that's pretty, but we're not making that on this machine." And they go, "What do you mean?" They go, "Well, let me tell you what your design needs to look like." And so, it has this environment of really collaboration and people working together.
When people think about manufacturing, and students may have an idea of manufacturing, it sometimes can be a little dated. You think about smokestacks, you think about old industries, you think about a little what Pittsburgh looked like about 50 or 100 years ago. It is clean, it's green, and it's dynamic, and it's also international. What's remarkable is you'll get a company like Ulbrich Steel, founded 100 years ago, that now has 7 distinct places, including around the world.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, all started here in Wallingford and on their way to become international companies as well. And there's quite a few here in Wallingford as well. But you're spot on, and it's not your grandfather's manufacturing anymore. I mean, when you really look at it, shop floors are clean, shop floors are sophisticated. We've got machines that are now doing work of people that we can't find, right? We just can't find people to do that. And so when you look at a manufacturing environment, it really is a very different environment than you may have perceived it to be. And then you really have to think of the fact that everything we enjoy in life is manufactured. It's manufactured by somebody. And so the microphones that we're talking on, the headsets, the table, everything here, somebody had to make it. Yeah. Somebody had to make it. And they're being made in environments where they're clean, they're sophisticated, there's great technology in those environments, and again, a tremendous ecosystem of people that are making these parts and these machines.
How important is an organization like Hubcap, let alone the Chamber of Commerce and our manufacturers that we represent with the Chamber of Commerce? But Hubcap is an institution that provides community contact, information, events like this for the local workforce, for students in the high school, so they can learn about manufacturing.
Yeah, vitally important, right? This is the chambers, organizations like Hubcap are where the boots are on the ground, right? This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where we make that final mile, that last connection. I was out talking to some of the manufacturing companies that were here, and I really sincerely thank them for coming, because in order for them to take time out of their day to come here to talk to these kids, you have to understand that they're not going to get any new business today, and they're not going to hire anybody today, right? And those are two things that they're always focused on. But what they're doing is they're helping us. They're helping my office, the Office of Manufacturing. They're helping the Chamber of Commerce. They're helping Hubcap. They're helping everybody get kids excited about manufacturing careers, get them to be exposed to manufacturing careers, get them to understand that there is a great pathway to a prosperous life through a career in manufacturing, and always so grateful for Hubcap, for providing those opportunities, and the Chamber supporting them as well.
So as you go around the state, all 169 communities, including Wallingford, you are the advocate for manufacturing here in this state. And if you are telling people about how enthusiastic you are about it, what is making you such a positive advocate?
Well, it just, it really comes, the reason why my wife calls me, she goes, "You're the connector and the cheerleader." She goes, "That's your job. You go out and you connect everybody together." And, she goes, and, she'll say to me in the morning, "Got your pom-poms with you?" So, listen, I'm excited about Connecticut. I'm born and raised here. I grew up 2 blocks from where we're sitting in this town in Wallingford, went to school here. I went to college here. I love Connecticut. I absolutely love Connecticut, and I love manufacturing. I love the fact that, when I was running a manufacturing business, about this time every day, around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd get up and walk out on the shop floor and just watch people make things and understand where the stuff that we're making is going and what impact that has on people's lives. So this really is an opportunity, to be the chief manufacturing officer in the state has really been an opportunity for me to take 2 things that I love. I love manufacturing and I love Connecticut, and it allows me to do that for a living. And, you don't ever often get a chance to to have a mission-driven job that just so much aligns with what you have inside of you. And so for me, this is more of a avocation than it is a job.
So if we're not sitting in a broadcast studio, Chamber of Commerce meeting at Hubcap, or anywhere around the state of Connecticut, governor's office, for example, where you are often, if you're in a living room and you're talking to a family and they have children, if they have students here in the high school, and you are going to tell them about manufacturing and pursuing this as a career, all the possibilities, what would you tell that family?
I'd tell them that I'd really start asking a lot of questions about what is it that motivates them? Like, what is it that gets them excited about things that they're doing? And it may be a hobby, or it may be something. And then what I'll do is make that connection to what they're passionate about to manufacturing, and how manufacturing can help fulfill that passion. And it could be, I like designing things. I like taking things apart. I like putting things together. I didn't come up from the shop floor. I came into manufacturing through leadership and through sales and marketing. But that's where my talents lie, right? So if you're somebody that likes to create marketing materials to support manufacturing, I always tell folks, there's so many stories about people who have worked in other areas, HR, marketing, sales, those areas, where they come to work in manufacturing and they're like, "Oh my God, this is so exciting." because we make things, you know, and so it really is try to capture what their passion is, and then to be able to tell them where there's a pathway in manufacturing for them to capture their passion. And especially, you know, there's always this stigma of, you know, not going to college. And I'll, you know, parents will tell me, well, you know, my kid's not ready for college, and then they'll look away, and I'll say, no, you know, we have to stop that, right? Because there's a pathway for everybody. And if we can tap into somebody's passion and provide them a pathway that meets that passion, it's success. That's how we define success. We don't define success by how many years of education you have. It's you know, are you truly happy doing what you're doing every day? Do you kick the covers off in the morning and want to go to work? And those of us that do understand that, and it really is trying to find within a young person, you know, where is that? You know, where is that passion going to lie, and how does manufacturing fit into that? So
Passion and a future.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, a really bright future. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much and for all your support and around the state of Connecticut, but here in Wallingford as well, and being a Wallingford native, being certainly a person from here who advocates on behalf of their hometown.
Well, as I was told, if you're born in Wallingford and raised in Wallingford, you come from good stock, and I believe that too. So listen, it's great to be here, Ray. Always great to see you, and great to chat with you as well.
Paul Lavoie, Chief Manufacturing Officer right here in the state of Connecticut. Thanks for being here at Hubcap today. I'm Ray Andrewsen, Executive Director of the Quinnipiac Chamber of Commerce. We encourage you to consider careers in manufacturing. Thanks for being with us.